Hi, Combat fans. This is Neff coming to you live from the Super Monday Night Combat Arena with Super Monday Night Tuesdays, Episode 5. This week, we'll take a look at the latest game mode, TurboCross. We'll see some support gameplay. We'll talk about the latest patch, and we'll once again look at Gun Mountain, the latest map that was revealed in the last patch. Another variation on Ammo Mule. So first and foremost, I play support in this round. I don't necessarily play the greatest support in the world because I am adjusting to the new game mode, and also I'm not a full-time support player. So my first tips that I would give you is just heal like crazy while you stick with your team. So make sure that you're keeping everybody else up so they can be killing people for you basically and picking up assists. Spam airstrike as much as humanly possible while using overclock to reduce the cooldown on that. You're going to want to set your turret up in a defensible space. Someplace you can fall back on it and where it's usually able to tag bots, but you can see us at it in the middle of the map. The gunner pushed forward pretty strong here, taking over the middle with me, which is a good strategy on Gun Mountain, and then he was able to get a couple hits on the turret. So you can see this new game mode, lethality is much higher. It was designed for shooter players, or with shooter players in mind. It's somewhat of a return to the original Monday Night Combat. So if you tried the Super Crossfire game mode out and you weren't happy with it as an original Monday Night Combat player, maybe you wanted Monday Night Combat 2 or something along those lines, I strongly encourage you to come back and check the game out. And just notice from my video that sniper headshot there, that was about half my health. So when you start out the game, you start at a HP that is the same as level 15 in Super Crossfire game mode, while lethality is even higher than that of level 15. You can see the gunner just took out that turret, so we're pushing forward, and you'll also notice that second turret nub is empty, which relates to this game mode as well. So there's no one-hit KOs despite the increased lethality, but you can get pretty darn close to a one-hit kill. You can see that sniper easily could have killed me basically in 2 headshots earlier. So respawn times are initially pretty fast, similar to the original MNC or when you're a low level in the Super Crossfire game mode, but they increase over time. You know, it's pretty predictable standard game mechanic. So I'm going to throw out an airstrike probably to kill some of these bots, but I didn't really need to there.
If you say so, Chip.
So like I was saying about the turrets, they had to change the placement, or they changed the setup a bit so that the first turret nub is now a level 3 laser blazer. The second turret nub was empty, as you could see when I walked by up there earlier. And the third turret nub remains the level 3 rocket turrets. So the front turret can't be upgraded like it can in Super Crossfire at this point in time. And the second turret nub, you can build either a laser blazer, a rocket turret, a shaved ice turret, or a long shot turret. And any turret you built there initially would start at level 1, and it could be upgraded with an increasing amount of money to level 2 and then level 3. So you might be thinking now, hang on a minute, shaved ice and long shot turrets, what are those? I've never seen those before. Well, that's because they're not in the Super Crossfire game mode, but they are in the original Monday Night Combat. Also with support, just a quick tip, anytime you see someone on fire, heal them so you can put them out and stop the damage and start their health regen up again. So shave ice turrets are from original MNC. I haven't found a ton of use for them yet in this game mode, maybe just because of turret placement and stuff, but we'll see over time. They slow enemy players and bots that cross into the field that surround them. They don't damage anyone, but they just slow people down.
Accuracy elixir, 'cause missing is okay for
Long shots, on the other hand, are kind of similar to mini Shelly, if you will. So they bombard the enemy portion of the map. Right now, I believe that a level 3 long shot does 1,600 damage. So if you're a commando, you're in pretty big trouble from one of those. I would imagine that long shot damage and other, features of this game mode will get tweaked over time. Just like any other new game mode.
Excuse me. Oh, and it looks like Shelly's upset again.
So we got Shelly here, which you always want to do on Gun Mountain, is just be on top of Shelly and the Annihilators. Shelly now only bombards the same lane that it's in where it's activated, instead of bombing the entire enemy half of the map. Some more changes, kind of bot-related changes for Turbo Crossfire, is that the breach bots, those are the Slims, the Shadies, the Fujis, the ones that are going to breach shields and stuff, move faster. But otherwise, they don't really do anything different. They don't take more damage. They don't have less HP as far as I can tell, but since you're dealing a lot more damage, they do tend to go down a lot faster. The Jackbot, the March of Jackbots, or the Jackbot Parade, whatever you want to call it, comes at 15 minutes instead of the 26 minutes or so that it comes in the Super Crossfire game mode, and Jackbots are ridiculously more powerful. So Annihilator's up, and that is why I'm in the middle. I'm pretty sure that I'm going to die here, but what my goal at this point is just to kind of distract the enemy while I'm waiting on my team so that they can help me get the Annihilator. You can see Assassin use their juice, and I threw an airstrike just to keep things clear. Trying to keep Vet and Gunner alive because they can kill people a lot better than I can. Assassin gets 2 swings on me and I die, obviously, because of the increased lethality. So I did mention the breach bots bringing down shields. So the only shields in this game mode are really on the money ball. There's no turret shields at all. So weapons with no fall-off damage can kind of cheese turrets from some really weird spots, or not necessarily weird spots, but some really safe spots. This is a big problem on, well, I noticed it a lot on Moko, but it's also a problem on other maps as well. Like Spunky, you can start hitting that turret right off the bat, right through the hole in the middle of the tube in the center ring. So health regen takes a little bit longer to kick in, you might have noticed. So we'll see how like the endorsements that reduce health regen, the skill regen endorsements impact that. It doesn't look like it's hurting me too bad, and I'm running full 15% skill regen right now. But once the health regen does kick in, it happens a lot faster. So I'm going to take a look around here. I see none of the enemy, and I'm like, oh great, everyone's kind of fighting and stuff. I'll hit this. Sniper lands 1 shot, headshot. If he had hit 1 more shot, or if that first shot had been a headshot, I would have died there for sure, but just kind of lucked out. So when the health regen kicks in, it's definitely a lot faster. Shoots you back to health way quicker, like an original MNC, pretty much.
Watch out, Iceman. Shelly's coming for you.
In the same vein, Juice heals you to full life now upon activation and loses that health regen effect. Believe it or not, this is actually something I've had a hard time adjusting to. Like, initially I had a hard time adjusting from original MNC to Super Crossfire, and now I'm struggling to adjust from Super Crossfire basically back to original MNC. I got so used to that juice providing that health regen over time and working differently that it was a big adjustment for me anyway, amongst other things I've had to adjust to in this game mode. So I think I like the Super Crossfire better overall, but I enjoy this game mode quite a bit, and I'm glad to see it in the game. Anything that's going to increase the player base and get more people playing is something that I'd love to see, and also, you know, I have a lot of respect for people that wanted MNC too, even though that's not necessarily what I was looking for. And hey, they got what they wanted, I got what I wanted, and we can all be happy, and Uber can get paid by all of us, right? Or maybe they can get paid by none of us if we all decide to just go free to play. It's me v3 people here. I don't know why they don't just come in and destroy me. Yeah, there we go. I don't know why I stuck around there for so long as I did. Maybe just in the hopes that a teammate would come around. But I obviously wasn't going to beat them 1v3 or 4 there.
Hot shot support.
So just some more stuff from the latest patch, I guess. They did add head flare. And you might have remembered kind of chest flare came last week, the different badges and chest items you can put on. So the head flare right now is mostly mustaches, which was a player recommended thing. So it's always cool to see Uber working with players, listening to their feedback and incorporating that stuff in the game. It may not be a balanced feature you wanted or a new map, but it's a cool, you know, customizable feature. And if they add one little thing like that each patch, you know, it really shows that they care about the player base, or not even each patch, but, you know, pretty frequently I see player suggestions lined up in the game. So another cool thing on Downtown Spunky, people complain a lot that once you control the center ring in the middle of the map, you pretty much have won the game already, and you just sit up there because you have the height advantage and stuff, and you're unstoppable. And to a certain extent, I largely have to agree with this philosophy. It certainly is more difficult to come back from the lower ground and take middle without a well-coordinated team, and it's probably not happening in solo queue too much if you're playing against any organized people. So they added this new hazard called the Fuzz, which reminds me of the buzzers of old MNC. And there are these little guys that fly around. You hear some police sirens go off. It costs 500 gold to activate, and it has a 60-second cooldown. And the swarm will basically fly along the top middle bridge and the middle ring and damage anyone caught in it. You can escape with your life, but it's a pretty hefty chunk of damage. It's definitely a hazard that you're not going to just want to stand there and take, but would want to avoid. That Dancer landed a nice claw there. Commandos now have no more fall damage, which, you know, I've never died from fall damage, I don't think, or anything along those lines, but it kind of makes sense with their mobility powers and stuff and their ability to gain great heights from those powers that they might drop fall damage because it would just be almost a drawback to using your mobility skills. More Commando, you know, Captain Spark, his voltage spike damage got taken down, which is probably for the best because Spark's probably in the best place for Commando overall. His damage is probably a little bit high. I think I'd have a hard time arguing with that, especially with Voltage Spike, because initially you couldn't use Voltage Spike while you were jumping and swinging at players. You had to like actually stop and kind of aim the ability and use it separately from your main swing, but once they added the ability to just hit it, you know, while you're attacking the enemy player and jumping and bouncing all around him, it definitely resulted in a huge increase in damage.
Iceman is taken down by a slim bomb.
For defenders, we saw Combat Girl got her her heal from her hurt gun doubled basically, and I've actually noticed, you know, playing Combat Girl a nice huge impact from that. Actually, I'm coming back just to check on Shelly's and stuff, and I'm gonna hit a bouncer bomb here because if you've been watching this series at all, you know that I love bouncers. So yeah, I've noticed a big impact, so I'm getting ready to take the Annihilator. I've noticed a big impact from that doubling of the CG heal to herself, and it's something that's allowed for me to be able to sustain myself a little bit longer with her, like I can with the support, especially if there's multiple targets that you're healing yourself from. Since I'm looking at this gunslinger here, the kneecap slow was reduced, which is just to save myself and make sure this person dies and doesn't get Shelly, so that our team can get Shelly. So the kneecap slow was reduced and normalized across all levels, and then the lock-on time was increased. And I think that's good because in the right-hand gunslinger, to me, seems a little bit OP right now, but it could just be me, but I've seen some surveys done by players and stuff that seem to suggest some similar data, but it's not a million people responding to this thing, so who knows. I'm like, oh, I'll heal this Jackbot, but no, he's glitched out, and he's just going to stand here the rest of the game. I was like, I'll just heal him anyway. Sniper SMG damage got increased by 2 points from 16 to 18, I think. So, not a huge deal, but it gives him a little more offensive power against Commandos up close, considering that his ice traps just got nerfed in the last, either last patch or the patch before. I can't remember for sure. So we're just keeping up the pressure. The game is pretty much over. It's hard to come back on this map, although I have seen a few comebacks in recent history since they made the changes to where Shelly bombs, while initially, you know, it was pretty much 3 Annihilators. Now it's maybe like 2 Annihilators on the map because Shelly's like a half an Annihilator. Maybe you could look at it that way. I still don't know how I feel about that. I think there really should be an activation time on Shelly personally because it makes for some good moments, I feel like, when I'm running up on people about to activate the Shelly and I'm like, aha, I got you and I can kill you. But then they just slam the Shelly and I kill them, and I mean, I killed them and I was successful and everything, but they got the Shelly like right, you know, there's nothing I can do to interfere with them getting the Shelly once they're on top of it, basically, as long as they have the cash. It's an instant activation, like a bot or something. You know, maybe other people feel differently, but that's kind of my thoughts there. So as always, I am looking for video ideas about what you guys might like to see. So obviously I'm focused on, you know, new features and whatever they might have added in the latest game. But if there's certain pros you would like to see me play, or, you know, anything else you might like to see, just hit me up with your ideas or your suggestions in the comments section, or you can send me a DM or something, and I would gladly consider your idea and at least talk about it with you. Got a nice little kill there, streak breaker. I like to heal heart gun people just because in original MNC it was my favorite way to kill people. I just found it really entertaining, so I'm kind of that mentality in this game and trying to do that. This is actually only my third TurboCross match, So as always, guys, good luck and have bacon. Add me on Steam if you want to. You can check out my Twitter, my YouTube. I live stream several times a week. Yeah, every Tuesday for sure. I'm definitely live streaming. If you have video suggestions, like I said, if you want to put some support tips or MNC tips in the comments, I would love to see them. See you on the field of combat.